Gervonta Tank Davis is fighting who? Lamont Roach Jr. That's the rumor. That's the word around town, guys. We're going to get Gervonta Davis versus Lamont Roach in December. And I just have his box rec pulled up for you guys. Obviously, no one's really happy about this fight, especially within the boxing community. So you can kind of infer that a lot of people who don't really care about boxing, maybe the casuals, are saying, you know, I'm not watching that fight. I'm not paying for it. I'm not watching it. But I think a lot of boxing fans are still going to watch it because it's, at the end of the day, it's Tank Davis. Obviously, I've seen a lot of boxing Twitter go at Gervonta Davis. And, you know, leave your comments down below what you guys make of this fight, what you guys think about this fight. A lot of fans going on Twitter, or X as they call it nowadays, saying that Gervonta Davis, he's turning 30, who has he really fought? He's only fought Ryan Garcia, dehydrated Ryan Garcia, and Hector Luis Garcia, actually. This is a common opponent. So to look at, you know, Lamont Roach's resume, I have his box rec pulled up for us. He's 25-1, and he has 10 KOs, so not outstanding with the power, you know, obviously going up against the big counter puncher in Gervonta Tank Davis. It's also important to note that Lamont Roach hasn't fought at 35, and Tank would be defending his title against a guy who is moving up from 30, which isn't the best look, obviously, but it's the fight that we're getting for Tank Davis. He said he has a 6 to 7 fight deal. We'll see who else he gets after that, but if this is the truth, if this is what we're getting, a lot of people aren't going to be happy with it, you know, and I already hear, you know, everybody's already hating on Tank for taking this fight, but at the end of the day, he's going to fight whoever they put in front of him. He's going to make a lot of money doing it, and it's not like he'd be able to fight Shakur Stevenson in the meantime anyways. There's not even a lot of names at 35 right now that are realistic options. You know, people talked about Tank and TL. It's not a realistic fight because Tank doesn't want to go up to 40, and maybe it's not so much that he doesn't want to go to 40 yet, it's more so that he's more comfortable making 35. He doesn't struggle to get down to 35, so why would he give, you know, another fighter an advantage if he's fighting Tio at 40 or 47? That gives him a lot, you know, of weight to have in terms of a weight advantage over Tank Davis, and I just don't think Tank's team would give Tank the okay to take that fight. I'm not saying Tank wouldn't take a fight with Tio at 140, but I don't think his team would advise, you know, in favor of it. So that's why I think it's that fight's not going to happen anytime soon, at least until Tank moves up to 140. And by the time Tank moves up to 140, realistically, are the Devin Haney's of the world, the Teofimo Lopez's of the world, the Regis Prograis, maybe Ryan Garcia, even though he doesn't fight around 140, who's realistically still going to be around there by the time Tank gets up there, you know. So it is what it is. You know, the timing of it isn't, you know, great. This isn't a great opponent for Tank Davis, but he couldn't fight Shakur anyways. Lomachenko walked away and said that he didn't want the fight because, you know, it just didn't interest him at the time. Maybe next year. That was what, you know, Lomachenko had to say. And at the end of the day, Lomachenko, he's a certified first ballot Hall of Famer already, and one of the better fighters we've seen in the past few years. So, you know, he deserves all the credit in the world. I can't really say Lomachenko is great because at the end of the day, you look at the resume, it's like, you know, I know that Devin Haney fight was close, but that's realistically one of the biggest names, and it's not a win. So it's just, you know, even though Lomachenko's a special talent, you know, he was definitely fun to watch. He still is. If we get to see him again, that'd be awesome. I'd still love to see him against Shakur or Tank. You know, I know that Tank wanted to make that Lomachenko fight. That was the fight that they were really going for. It wasn't obviously Lamont Roach. They're not thinking that's going to sell a lot. They were trying to get the Lomachenko fight. Loma turned it down. Even if Shakur Stevenson, you know, was an option, he can't be anymore because, you know, because of his hand injury. So now we have Lamont Roach, you know, stepping in potentially in December. So it is what it is, guys. We just got to get realistic with it. You know, there's not always going to be a big fight. And honestly, I'm with you guys when you guys say that Tank has to step it up with the competition. He's already 30, and this fight isn't the best look for him. And, you know, although that all holds true, it's still a fight. You know, I'd prefer this as opposed to him not fighting at all. And I understand, you know, he's fighting somebody that's coming up in weight for the first time, and Tank's defending his title. It doesn't really make a lot of sense to be fighting a guy coming up from 30 in his debut at 35. is against Tank Davis, you know, in a title fight. So that doesn't make a lot of sense to me, but we're here. You know, this is a crazy time in boxing where we're not seeing the fights we're supposed to be seeing, and it is hurting the sport. But Tank Davis has, like he said, you know, the way that the internet has been criticizing him over the last 24 hours or so or more, because that's when the news was released about, you know, Lamont Roach being his next opponent. He responded to these people by saying, you know, I have a 6 to 7 fight deal. So he's kind of saying that, you know, within those 5 to 6 to 7 fights, he should be having, you know, at least one big mega fight. Hopefully Shakur, I think Shakur has to be in there. If it's 6 to 7 fights over the span of, you know, I don't know how many years that would take. That would probably take at least 3 to 4 years for a Tank to do, because he doesn't fight that often. Sometimes, you know, things outside of boxing get in the way, legal trouble, all that, his personal life. So, you know, you can't predict what's going to happen. I just really hope that we eventually get the Shakur Stevenson fight. You know, I expect Tank to stop Lamont Roach. I don't see him having trouble with a guy that's coming up in weight, you know, to 35. I guess an advantage would be that, you know, he's no longer forced to make 130. He has a little bit more leeway when it comes to the weight. But aside from that, you know, Tank's going to be bigger than this guy. A more natural 35-pounder. Tank's had experience at 40. And, you know, to be fighting somebody who's coming up in weight, he's fighting a guy that, you know, barely beat Hector Luis Garcia, the same guy that Tank made lose his vision. You know, Tank knocked the vision out of Hector Luis Garcia, and Lamont Roach beat Hector Luis Garcia in a split decision. So it just tells you, you know, I don't know that styles make fights, but I'm pretty sure Tank's gonna handle this business, you know, with ease, and I don't see any stumbling blocks, you know, bumps in the road in the process. So let me know in the comments what you guys think. Tank Davis versus Lamont Roach rumored in December. But let me know in the comments what you guys think of the fight. A lot of people not happy, you know, but I'm just happy to see Tank, you know, back in action. It's better than having him inactive. So you take the good with the bad in the sport of boxing. But let me know in the comments what you guys think about this fight. But thank you guys for watching today's video on Nabs Boxing. I appreciate the constant support. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, and, you know, comment something down below what you guys may want to see next on the channel, and of course what you guys think about this fight between Tank and Roach. But let me know in the comments. Thank you guys for watching. Peace. That's going to do it for another Nabs Fight Media video, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. It's been your boy, Matt Nabong, with another video. Hope you guys enjoyed it all. Thank you guys for the constant support. Salute to y'all always. It's been your boy.